So, the world ended, and you're standing in the ruins thinking, where do I sleep tonight?
Well, unless you enjoy hypothermia, rabid raccoon visits, or waking up crushed under half a roof, you need a shelter. Fast. Lucky for you, Captain Cabbage is here with a 7-day survival crash course. By the end of the week, you'll have a base that's sturdy, hidden, and slightly less miserable than sleeping in a ditch. Let's build. Day 1. Find a roof before the sky kills you. What's the most important part of a shelter? Not the walls, they're optional. But a roof? That's non-negotiable. Rain, wind, snow, sunburn, nature hates you equally. And in the apocalypse, exposure will finish you faster than starvation. First, find something that already exists. An abandoned shed, a garage, a bus, a shipping container, even half a collapsed house. Anything with a roof you don't have to build from scratch. But don't get reckless. Before moving in, check for structural death traps. If the ceiling is sagging, the walls are splitting, or the place already looks like it survived an explosion, guess what? It won't survive you. If there's nothing solid around, well, now you're camping. That means tarps, ponchos, or plastic sheets if you're lucky. If not, branches and leaves lashed together. It won't be pretty, but it'll keep the rain off. Pro tip, don't set up under a big tree. Branch to the face is only funny in cartoons. Out here, it's called a concussion. Day 1 bonus hacks. If you find a car, don't just sleep in it, flip the seats down, pile blankets inside, and you've got an instant hard shell shelter. Just remember, cars turn into ovens in summer and freezers in winter. Basically, they're nature's cruelest Airbnb. And avoid riverside spots. Sure, it's pretty, but you'll discover flooded sleeping bag is worse than no sleeping bag.
Day 2. Patch the holes before the wind moves in. Okay, you've got 4 sticks and something resembling a roof. Now plug the holes before the wind moves in rent-free. Cardboard, plywood, old doors, corrugated metal, or trash bags duct taped together. Anything works if it blocks air and rain. If it flaps in the wind, tighten it. If it rattles, weigh it down. Don't have duct tape? No problem. String, shoelaces, or strips of cloth tied tight can do the job. Mud can seal cracks too. Primitive? Yes, but it kept people alive for thousands of years before Amazon sold weatherproofing kits. And here's the thing, airflow is your enemy and your friend. Too many gaps and you're freezing. No gaps at all? Wow, you've built a coffin with extra smoke. Balance is crucial. Think of your shelter like Tinder dates. Too many openings and you're guaranteed to catch something unwanted. Day 2 bonus hacks. No tarp? Rip apart umbrellas. They're waterproof fabric already designed to hate rain. Stitch or tie them together for a janky but effective patch. Got old blankets or clothes? Soak them in melted candle wax or cooking oil, then hang them over the gaps. It turns fabric into a makeshift waterproof barrier. Sure, it smells like grandma's closet on fire, but it'll keep the rain out. Day 3, Insulation Nation. Now that you're not wet, it's time to not freeze. Heat likes cozy spaces. Pick the smallest room or corner and turn it into a cocoon. Forget open floor plans. Think kid's blanket fort, not a castle. Line the inside with anything that traps air. Blankets, clothes, cardboard, bubble wrap, foam, even crumpled paper. Stuff leaves, grass, or old rags into cracks. Double layer wherever you can. Windows? Cover them with anything opaque. Bubble wrap works wonders, cardboard is decent, even layered plastic bags will trap heat. If you can, make shutters, not for fashion, but because broken glass in a storm is nature's ninja weapon. The floor is your biggest enemy. Bare earth or concrete will suck heat out of you faster than your ex at divorce court. Pile leaves, cardboard, old rugs, or pallets underneath your sleeping spot. Yes, it'll smell like wet dog, but better stinky and warm than clean and frozen.
Bonus hacks. If you're lucky enough to find styrofoam, hoard it like treasure. It's one of the best insulators and it doesn't rot. Line your walls with it and you're basically living inside a giant coffee cup. Also hang blankets like curtains inside. Double layers mean trapped air, which means warmth. Fashion disaster? Absolutely. But hey, nobody's judging. Day 4, furniture, aka not sleeping on rocks. Survival rule, get off the ground. Sleeping directly on dirt drains body heat all night long. You'll wake up shivering, stiff, and halfway to pneumonia. So, build a raised bed. Pallets, planks, branches, even junk stacked together. If you can't elevate, at least pile a thick layer of insulation underneath. Then comes padding. Blankets, rags, clothes, leaves, moss, anything soft. Stuff a shirt with grass or shredded fabric, and boom, apocalypse pillow. Call it memory foam if you want, but the memory is just grass stains. Don't underestimate comfort. A few decent nights of sleep will keep you sharp, healthy, and less likely to hallucinate your cabbage talking back. Unless it actually does, then run. And if you find an office chair, congratulations, you've just unlocked executive mode. Nothing says post-apocalyptic king like spinning dramatically in your bunker. Day 4 bonus hacks. Need a bed frame? Shopping carts are apocalypse bunk beds waiting to happen. Flip one over, throw boards on top, and you're off the ground. Plus, they've got wheels, in case you want to roll your bed around like a king. And don't forget a sitting spot. Even one crate can boost morale. Turns out not everything in the apocalypse has to happen sitting in the dirt. Day 5, defense and detection. Now that you're cozy, it's time to defend your cardboard castle. Every shelter needs security. Raiders, thieves, stray dogs, nosy raccoons, they all want what you've got. Start with alarms. String cans together as tripwires around your shelter. When something walks through, the noise gives you a heads up. Not fancy, but it works. Then add deterrents. Broken glass, sharp sticks, or even junk spread near entrances make it harder for uninvited guests to sneak in. Just remember where you put them. Nothing says idiot like stabbing yourself on your own defenses. Finally, weapons. Keep something near your bed. Stick, crowbar, hammer. Not to start fights, but to finish them if someone decides your cabbage stash looks tasty. Think of it less like Home Sweet Home and more like Home Alone Apocalypse Edition. Day 5 bonus hacks. Want a cheap alarm? Grab aluminum cans, fill them with rocks, and hang them from string. Anything brushing past equals noisy panic machine. Also, shiny CDs or mirrors hanging outside double as both alarms and don't mess with me decorations. Nothing says unstable survivor like a yard full of spinning junk.
Day 6, light, fire, and air. Here's where most rookies screw up. They block every gap, light a fire inside, and then wonder why they never wake up. It's called carbon monoxide. Don't make your obituary that stupid. Rule 1, ventilation. If you burn anything, crack a window, leave a vent hole, or improvise a chimney. Smoke needs somewhere to go that isn't your lungs. For light, use garden solar lamps. Charge them outside during the day, bring them in at night. Drop them in buckets or jars for portable lanterns. Cheap, safe, and no risk of burning your shelter down. Candles work too, but treat them like wild animals. Never leave them alone, and don't let them near your cardboard walls. Science tip: reflective surfaces. Aluminum foil, car sunshades, even mirrors can bounce light around and make one candle feel like 10. Same with heat, reflected back inside instead of letting it vanish into the void. Day 6 bonus hacks. If you've got tin cans, turn them into mini oil lamps. Fill with cooking oil or animal fat, drop in a cloth wick, and you've got hours of light. Just don't try to set yourself on fire. And always keep a nightlight handy. Even a tiny glow saves you from tripping into your own defenses at 2 a.m. Day 7, make it yours. You made it through the week, you're still alive, which puts you ahead of about 95% of the population. Now it's time for upgrades. Paint warnings on the walls. Beware of dog. Works even if you don't have one. Add cans as wind chimes for both ambiance and alarms. Rig up string lights to a car battery for apocalypse chic. Divide your shelter into zones: food corner, fire corner, sleeping corner. Organized camps are harder to raid. Messy camps just scream, "Loot me." And yes, decorate. Hang trophies, paint skulls, or build a toilet paper throne if you're feeling dramatic. A shelter isn't just about survival, it's about morale. And morale keeps you alive. By this point, you don't just have a shelter, you have a home. A very depressing, drafty home, but still a home. Day 7 bonus hacks. If you can scavenge paint, smear symbols or warnings outside. Raiders are less likely to mess with someone who looks crazy enough to worship the sun god of cabbages. And if you've got time, dig a small hidden cache near your shelter. When, not if, someone robs you, at least your real stash is safe. Here we are, 7 days, 1 shelter, and 0 excuses. You now have walls, a roof, warmth, defenses, and maybe even a cabbage pillow. Survival isn't about luxury. It's about not dying in your sleep because you thought optional roof was a good idea. So, seal those gaps, stash your supplies, and guard your cabbage. Because in the apocalypse, bedtime isn't about rest. It's about making sure you actually wake up. Oh, and if you noticed the little bonus hacks sprinkled in, that's extra survival wisdom just for you. Because in the apocalypse, knowledge is the only thing that weighs nothing and might just keep you alive another day.